So look at what showed up this morning. This is like 40 pounds of game that just showed up from China, by way of an Australian company. So let's get into it. Hi everybody. So Limbo Eternal War showed up yesterday. It showed up yesterday, and I tried to do a video yesterday, and when I was trying to edit it, over half the video was corrupted and it was total garbage. And I'm not going to say it's been that kind of week, but today we went to Target and tried to buy some stuff at Target, and people have cleared out the shelves here in Colorado. We have like 48 cases of the coronavirus, and you cannot find toilet paper, you cannot find hand sanitizer, you cannot find bleach, Lysol, any of that stuff. It's gone. The shelves have been cleared out. So so we're gonna try again, and everything's been open, but I'll show you what's in the box. How about that? And all the extras, all the Kickstarter extras, all the extra stuff that I got, all the Kickstarter exclusive stretch goals, everything. So we'll get into it. Okay, so get into the first box. So we've got a rule book, and this is the rule book. That's how thick the rule book is, which is nice. When I said skirmish game in a box, I bet some of you were like, oh geez, because the rules can be so complicated with these games. And then that is not even the whole, like this is rule book from here to here. This is rule book. The other half is art book. It's art book and lore. So, and I don't buy these games, for the art books and lore and stuff, but the art and the setting and the minis obviously are just gorgeous in this game. And I like the setting. I think it's cool. It's it's a little bit basic. I mean, it's kind of like every RPG ever, but it's nice looking. It's really nice looking. So we can talk about the rules a little bit. So there's some unique mechanics to the game. There's some stuff that's kind of standard. Here's everything that's in the box. You've got that, that many minis. There's this many minis in the game. And then we've got some map tiles. There's some actual map tiles that are kind of where you can rearrange them, which will increase the replayability of the game, where you can customize the map and things like that. Terrain is a thing in the game too. So there are some elements of games like, I don't know, Age of Sigmar or Kings of War, things like that to this game. But it's like you have your two armies in a box. And I don't know how much this game retails for. I want to say it's close to $100 or something like that. So it's kind of a steal to me. I am a miniature collector. I love minis, so I have different values than other people, but there's some amazing looking minis in this game. So you can see everything that we've got in here. We've got your dice, we've got your tokens and bleed tokens, evade tokens, focus tokens, all that stuff. So let's see, what else? Here's the card. This is some card art. Everything is in sepia in the cards. I was a little bit disappointed in that, because I thought, if you subscribe to my channel, you know that I like to do videos where I'll recreate card art if I like the card art, and I love this card art. And if it was in color, I would definitely paint up some guys to make them look as close to the card art as I can. But everything is in sepia or these kind of bluish tones. So I'll just read this to you real quick so you can kind of get an idea of how this works. This is a 2-player game. And then, so each player in Limbo Eternal War commands a force of characters they'll use to fell their enemies and achieve their objectives. Before beginning the game, players must choose which characters will fight for them in the upcoming battle. When building your own custom army, you must follow the following rules. Your army must contain one and only one lord. Your army must not contain more troop squads than heroes and lords. And yeah, the lords and the lords and heroes in this game are very, very epic, very cool looking. So yeah, there are turns, and some of the unique kind of cool mechanics that I like in this game is that there is flanking. So if you, like, here's an example of flanking, if I can get my camera to focus. Yeah, so this character is flanked. They have this is it like a demon. They have 2 of the Armies of Heaven, or 2 troops of the Armies of Heaven on either side of them in base-to-base contact, so they are flanked. They are not. One is diagonal. And then in this is, I think this is a squad. This is a formation. So this is an example of a formation. This is an example of a formation. This is staggered. So like formations can be broken. There are range. There's range rules, like this character is 4 spaces away from this character. And then I'll read it to you. So Rose uses a Tiger Archer to attack Jack's Gouge with a ranged attack. She counts the range and finds that it's a 4. As the Tiger Archer has a range of 4 on their attack, he won't receive any penalty if he shoots at him. If Gouge were 5 away, he would receive a -1 attack. So there's a lot of things like that in the game that kind of remind me of like D&D. Like, okay, you're attacking at disadvantage, or you get, like a -2 or whatever, or flanking, like in D&D, and there's also line of sight. So I love that. I DM a regular game. I love that. I'm all about D&D. And then there's also skirmish game elements, but I like that everything is on a grid and you just move, like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how far this guy moves, and then he does this attack, and you have it on the card, and then you wham, roll the dice, and that's how hard he hits. I like that. I like that there's flanking. I like that there's skirmish game elements, and then also board game kind of like I don't know, like Descent, or games like that, elements with like that. So anyways, I'm not going to get into the gameplay too much. I have not really done my homework on the gameplay. There are games on YouTube that you can watch. There are like virtual tabletop games that are made by the creators. But as you can see, these are the rules. The rules, there's not too complicated. This is all art books, so yeah, kind of simple, which is nice. Here we've got a game board, and then this is not the only game board. This is like we have on this side there is like Snowfield. On this side there is Armies of Heaven and Hell, Hellish Lavascape, a Beautiful Heaven Garden. Yeah. So, and then there are other map tiles too, which will increase the replayability of the game, where you're not playing on the same map every single time that you play. And then let's get into the minis and all the other stuff. All right, let's look at the cards. I'll show you some card art first. Okay, here we got a troop. As you can see, got some gorgeous looking card art. I'm a little bit bummed out that it's not in color because I do like me some good card art. I went to school for illustration and graphic design. It's one of the things that I do. So I'm a commercial artist and graphic designer. Okay, so that's card art, and then there's more. Like this is going to be, I think this is all like status effects, kind of like sort of like more like draw pile. Let's take a look at one of these. Look at the top 3 cards on your fate deck, draw 2 of them, and then place the other on the top or bottom of your deck. So yeah, you've got some draw pile kind of like board game mechanics as well as skirmish game or grid-based combat like D&D. All right, and then yeah, we've got some dice in here. We've got a bunch of D6s. We've got some D10s in here. Comes with a dice bag as well. You could fit like maybe one set of RPG dice in here. It's this very small dice bag. Not sure if that's like a standard thing or if that's a Kickstarter extra, who knows. And then you've got these guys, these little crystals, these like fate crystals. Pretty standard stuff. You find these in a lot of games. And we have the minis. Alright, so first off, we have the Armies of Hell. This is not all of them either. There's another whole box of, you know, the gigantic guys. Let's look at some troops. So we have your basic skeleton. Yeah, I mean, kind of basic, but that is one gorgeous looking skeleton. You can see that sculpt, but these guys are huge. Let me actually grab a ruler. When I was like ordering this game on Kickstarter, or when I was going all in on Kickstarter. Oh yeah, like yeah, 1.25 inch base. That's like I thought. And then let's see how tall you are. About 1.5 inches, over 1.5 inches, including your base. You're looking at close to 2 inches. So these guys are massive. Oh, what's that in millimeters? Yeah, your standard 28 mil guy is going to come up to here on him. So I was bummed out about that because when I saw the Kickstarter, I saw that the troops were supposed to be smaller. They had one of those scale comparisons of like how big the gigantic guys are versus the troops. And for some reason, either this changed or I thought that these guys were going to be way smaller because I thought that they were going to fit in with all of my other stuff and I was going to be able to use them for like D&D and all that. So I was disappointed about that, but holy moly, these guys are some gorgeous looking sculpts. Yeah. So those are going to be your troops for the side of evil. Just have skeletons. They're all skeletons. And then you get more into like elite troops. You have some sort of demon looking guys, devils. And then it's interesting because, okay, so if we look at these guys, at their skulls, and then we look at the skulls on like this guy's belt, they are smaller. And I could have sworn that when I looked at the Kickstarter that these guys were supposed to be smaller and there were supposed to be some elite troops that were bigger, you know, and then they were just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, guys, like Kickstarter, just miniature makers, just pick a scale, you know, like pick a scale, stick with it. You'd sell so many more games if people like me could just get one scale for games, and just you're messing up. But look at these demons, like they look awesome. And you know, like with these guys, it's not a problem if you have a gigantic demon. But I really wanted these guys to be, the skeletons to be like kind of heroic scale, 28, maybe 32 mil tops. But yeah, you can see these gorgeous looking sculpts. Yeah, these head sizes, the skulls, they're just like, this is a human head, and then these guys, these skulls on the belt, just kind of all over the place as far as skull sizes. It's a little disappointing. We've got some bent swords. So yeah, this is kind of interesting too. So this plastic is, it's bendy. It's like slightly bendy, but it's rigid enough. When I did the original unboxing, I had an X-Acto knife on me, and I scraped this guy. I scraped his seam line to show that this plastic was rigid enough to where you could scrape it to get rid of seam lines, but it's soft enough to where parts like this won't snap off if you kind of bend them. So I think that this is ABS plastic, like Legos. You know how Legos have like a little bit of flex so that when you push them together, they will snap together? It's basically like a Lego plastic. So I'm pretty sure that it's like ABS Lego plastic. But it's going to be harder than your like Malifaux, or harder than you know, like Gibbering Horde, or like weird miniatures, anything that they make. And then or like Reaper, you know, any of those companies' minis. But it's going to be softer than your like GW plastic. This guy is awesome though. Like, he looks like something from a Guillermo del Toro movie, like Pan's Labyrinth or like Hellboy or something like that. Pretty amazing looking sculpt. Definitely an epic looking demon. Okay, let's look at some more of these elite troop guys. Yeah, these guys, I mean, I'm not disappointed with these guys at all, but I wish that this character, for example, was a little smaller. I wish that the skeletons were a little smaller, because I would love to use this as like a succubus or something, and then have them be the same size as the rest of my stuff. But these are some gorgeous, gorgeous looking minis. I'm pretty blown away by the quality. Like, as far as if we look really close. Nope, I'll focus on that. Focus on that. It's not going to do it. As far as seam lines go and things like that, there is like zero cleanup, and everything's glued. And then they did a good job, you know, the gluing. They did a nice job with the glue jobs on pretty much everything. I haven't seen one yet. I haven't seen anybody with really bad seam lines, or, you know, like a bad glue job, or just they did a really good job with, like, here's a joint right here, and it's almost unnoticeable. So that part, you know, A+. All right, and then we have, you know, as far as the troops go, you have multiple sculpts. You have like the same troop or same type of soldier, but then there's going to be multiple sculpts. There's going to be two sculpts, I think, of every troop type. Sometimes 3. Like there are 3 types of skeletons, I believe, or more. There could possibly be more, but I think that there is going to be up to 3 different poses for your troops. Yeah, save the best for last. Look at this sculpt. Absolutely amazing. That is one epic devil demon, if I've ever seen one. I'm definitely happy with these guys, the big ones. Yeah, I've said my piece about that. So, let's get into the angels. Okay, angel troops. And then these guys are nice too, these blister pack, the way that they've done this. Because this will protect your minis long term. Even, if you have a nice paint job, they can just rest in their little home. And focus! This is why I don't like this camera. This is why I don't shoot video with this camera. That's why all the video got corrupted on my other video. Okay, so these are your Armies of Heaven troops. Can you just focus right there? Okay. Definitely some amazing looking soldiers. But again, these guys are huge. They're just massive. What are we looking at? Yeah, about, whoa, jeez, almost 2 inches tall. And some of these guys probably are 2 inches tall. Which is just way bigger than anything else that I have. But, okay, let's look at them. Let's look at some of the sculpts. Definitely some super cool looking soldiers. Very, very cool looking. And who knows, things could just keep getting bigger and bigger. Like there's so much scale creep in games like GW, everything keeps getting bigger, and like just all those games, pretty soon this might be the standard size for minis, where everybody's like almost like 2 inches tall. But yeah, we got some pretty awesome looking soldiers, and they also all have textured bases. There's one guy who has a base that's like sort of blank in areas, but as far as like everybody has a nice like cobblestone or some kind of a interesting textured base, which is nice. I like textured bases. I think they're cool. So yeah, with these guys, we have some ranged units. With the Armies of Hell, I think it was pretty much every troop was a melee unit, but then for Heaven we have some guys who have ranged weapons on them, and then there are multiple sculpts again of those. And then, yeah, some of these guys, these women, some sexy, like that's a sexy nun. That's almost like some kind of a fetish. Like it looks like an anime, like, I don't know, like Vampire Hunter, something like. Very cool looking hero though. This one is pretty amazing, like sword goddess, sword angel. And also the company produced some resin kits of these that were bigger, and I'm not even sure how large they were, but you know, a pretty cool resin kit. If you know, if you're into that, if you'd like to make display pieces that like paint resin kits, this company does make resin kits. That are large, really large versions of these same sculpts. And I think that they even, there was like a tier on the Kickstarter where you got in advance of everybody else, like if you watch what's his name, like King of Average or something, I think he does tons of videos on Kickstarter, like Kickstarter projects, but and then he often goes all in, but he got the resin kits of these guys and painted them and everything. So there's a mechanic in the game where you can transmute people into sheep, like in like Warcraft 3. That's what I was thinking of. But again, I'm so bummed out that this guy in particular, I wanted him to be like a vampire hunter or something in one of my like D&D games. I was bummed out that he was so big, because I really wish that he was the right scale for everything else that I have. But super, super cool looking sculpt. Here's another amazing looking angel. Super, super cool looking. It hurts me. It hurts me that they're so out of scale with everything else that I have. Okay, so we're done with those. I'm going to quit complaining about how big they are, and then we're going to get into the big guys, the heavy duty, huge guys. Okay, let's get into the massive minis. So here's the other, here's all the cardboard tiles that I talked about. We have, you know, some heaven tiles, got some hell tiles. It's nice cardboard. It's good cardboard. The everything pops out with ease, and then you know you've got clean cuts. So it looks like a nice print job. So yeah, good job with that. And then we have the big guys. Some of these are just crazy. It's crazy that they're in a board game, just to begin with. So, yeah, let's start with some of the smaller ones. This one is the biggest disappointment out of the whole game so far, everything that I've seen. If you look right here at this spot, her knees are supposed to be folded over each other, and you can see just how squishy that little part is right there, like how bad the sculpt looks in that spot. And then yeah, I thought I remembered seeing something, an update on the Kickstarter, where they were talking about how they had fixed that, but apparently I got one of the crappy ones. And then she's leaning this way hard. I thought that it was not put together properly, but you can see that that's the joint right there. She's supposed to be upright. And then, you know, I mean, that's going to take a lot of heat gun, you know, hot water or whatever to straighten out until it's standing upright. And even then, it would probably be easier to just cut it and then reposition it. So that's a bummer. This is a cool looking mini. Yeah, so that's disappointing. We got a big old bad, I think, I forget what this guy is called. A gouge, I think. Pretty amazing looking mini, you know, quote mini. Like, let's see how big this guy is. What we got in millimeters, centimeters. About 9 centimeters tall. Almost, yeah, about 3.5 inches tall. Huge guy. So, and then the base, these are going to be 1.5 and 1.5. So, or I mean, sorry, 1.25 and 1.25. So that would be 2.5 inches, the size of the base. Huge, awesome looking demon. Here's one of the epic Armies of Heaven. You can see this sculpt is nuts. Like, this horse is standing on 2 legs, rearing up. This base needs a little more texture, in my opinion, if you're going to do a texture base, because there is some texture on there, but it's almost illegible. And then I almost wish that this guy was reinforced a little bit better. He looks like more of a display. Like, a lot of these guys are like big display kind of piece minis, but definitely an epic pose. And I mean, he looks really good. If you look at this detail, like on his face and stuff like that, I mean, this guy came out looking beautiful. The horse, like, it's a beautiful sculpt. Okay, we've got some even bigger, like massive guys. These guys are insane. It is just huge how big they are. Which side is that going? Just again, for scale, let me see how big this guy is. About 6 inches tall. That is huge. Really cool looking. Really cool looking double demon guy. Like this, his face kind of reminds me of like Diablo 3, like the Diablo from Diablo 3. It's just, I mean, this is epic. I love this. I wish I didn't have such a backlog of stuff that I've been meaning to paint, because I would love to give these guys some TLC. But they're gonna sit in my pile of shame for a little while of things that I bought that I need to paint. And then this one, this guy is insane. Yeah, he's not gonna like come together totally, because I need to glue him and do all that, but you sort of get the idea of how big this guy is. I mean, just and then okay, so look at the base. She's sort of like summoning him out of a shield. Like, this is amazing. I wish that there was more stuff like this in the game, actually. Like, I wish that there was more kind of epic angels doing angel things instead of, you know, basic soldiers that just have suits of armor on. I would like to have seen more angels, and I want them to be the right damn scale. Alright. Here's another epic angel. Gigantic as well. And we can't forget this guy. Okay, go in your home. Come on. Find a place. Okay, this guy. Last but not least, the bone general construct. And I love this guy. Definitely an epic sculpt. You know, I don't have a problem with any of these big guys. Like, there's nothing wrong with them, except for this one. That one sucks. But like, just look at the quality of the. There's like zero cleanup. The glue job is you can't even tell where the glue job is, and this can't be all one. Okay, yeah, there's some little visible spots, but it's pretty hard to find where the actual glue job is. So, but like zero cleanup or minimal, almost zero cleanup, pretty impressive. Okay, and then I will show you all the other crap that I got. Okay, so I think that all these guys made it into their right boxes, but we'll just pull them out to make sure. Here we go. More epic demons. And I'm pretty sure that I bought all of these guys extra. At the time, the exchange rate between the US dollar and the Aussie dollar was like really in our favor. So I mean, I bought a ton of stuff. But I don't think that it was like, I don't think I spent more than like $200 on all this stuff. It just took forever to get here. Check that out. Is that like not the coolest demon that you have ever seen? Like the most epic demon? This guy I'm just like super impressed with. Kind of blown away. So, really happy with these. Really happy with those. This, I can't remember if this was one of the Kickstarter stretch goals or what. If I ordered this is a resin kit. So they do resin. And then, I mean, this is a tiny resin kit, but it's a resin kit nonetheless. So all the parts are in here. You're gonna have this is what resin kits look like. Typically they have sprues on them where this is a mold where this has been injected in, and then the resin is softer than plastic and it's a little bit more fragile, and resin kits they're a thing all unto themselves. But when put together, that is her. And I really don't remember if that was a stretch goal at like a Kickstarter exclusive or if that's something that I ordered by itself, but that's a resin kit. We have these guys, and I'm pretty sure that these are stretch goals. I think that these are all stretch goals because the project hit all of its milestones, so they did like extra sculpts and things like that. All of these guys look gorgeous. Once again, they're massive, but maybe I could use them as like giants or something in my game. I don't know. See, how tall are you? This one is actually 2 inches tall. So that's going to be like almost twice the size of your regular like heroic scale 28 millimeter stuff. But cool looking, very cool looking elf. This guy, I love this guy. I was bummed when I saw how big this guy was because it's a massive imp. It's like freakishly large imp. I like imps. I think they're cool. But he's like, if you can see that, he's like sort of like slit this guy's throat, and then he's, I don't know, like about to drink his blood or something. Very cool. This guy, I love this guy. I love the sculpt. I love his like flowing cape. I like this helmet that he has. It looks like Dark Souls kind of, yeah, I was bummed. I was bummed when these guys showed up and they were so huge. I don't know how many times I've said that. The biggest dwarf I've ever seen. See, how big are you? Yeah, once again, like 40 millimeters. Like inch and a half, about. Yeah. But very, very cool looking dwarf, epic dwarf. One of my players in my game, he likes to play dwarves, and he was talking about how they do have spells that can make them gigantic. So, okay. And then we have some more epic demons. This guy. Check this guy out. And then he has a base. He has a sculptured base. It's just he's not on glued down yet. So and then I would probably want to fill some gaps around here before I tried to glue him down. But definitely another epic looking demon. Very, very cool. Massive. And I couldn't believe how much, because I swear I did not spend more than $200 on all this stuff. It took like, I wanted it yesterday, a year ago. Sorry, more camera issues. We were just on the struggle bus this week with cameras. So yeah, anyways, that's this guy. Just awesome looking, huge, super cool demon. And this one too, I mean, yeah, again, these guys definitely know how to sculpt their demons. Like, that is just, love the face. I absolutely love the face. This is just, I kind of wish that I had gotten more stuff like this, like more gigantic demons. If I would have known, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Just skill. Awesome though. Super, super cool. Definitely one of the coolest demons, if not the coolest demon sculpt that I've ever seen. It's up there. Top 5. Yeah. And there's more. I saved the best for last. Okay, we have this guy, a Glutton Demon, just sort of tucking into some people, like pulling them apart, pulling their arms off and stuff. He's got a few around. He's gonna save these guys for later. Throw this one into his maw. Yeah, full frontal nudity on this guy. This poor lady about to get tossed in his jaws. I love these tentacles and the teeth and fins and stuff. Just disgusting. What a slob. What a disgusting slob. Definitely a huge epic demon though. And this guy. So this is, I was blown away by this. These, I wanted more of these. I wanted more like massive angels with doing like this. This looks like, it's like an angel mech suit, It's like you have you can see this little angel inside, and you have some kind of martyr, and then she has these angels on her wings, and like she has the kind of like, I don't know, like I feel like this is very Diablo kind of inspired. There's a lot of elements that they didn't, maybe stole like an artist. But I just love this sculpt. I think it's so cool. I love the idea of like an angel like suiting up in like a mech suit to go to battle with huge demons, you know, that like it's something to get up to their size. But yeah, that's gonna be it, you guys. You know, I always say it. I always say take care of yourselves. And I joked about coronavirus earlier. It is no joke. They're saying that, you know, up to like 60 or 70% of Americans are going to get this thing, and like up to 5% of those people are going to die. That's like millions of Americans. So, you know, stay away from concerts, wash your hands, don't fly in airplanes, don't take cruises for Christ's sake. You know, just don't travel unless you have to see a loved one who's dying or something. Yeah, just take care of yourselves. Stay safe. All right, thanks for watching.